Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. This is Ace,
And this is Jack,
and this is the People's Podcast.
episode 6.
A little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind. Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine.
So how's it going, Jack?
Hey, not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing well. Watching the world burn around me, but other than that, we're
Well,
doing great.
There you go.
2020 has been an amazing year so far.
We take a week off of podcasting, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
I think we need to stick to daily podcasts to keep the peace.
Hashtag never daily. But yeah, I think we should definitely start doing that, you know? I mean, we take too long. It's really the uploads that's the problem, just switching over. Like, everything was great, you know, there was a couple little news articles or whatever, and then we took, you know, a little too long to upload a couple episodes, and all of a sudden the world's on fire.
There
So
you
I'm
go.
thinking that might be the problem. So
Yeah, I think we need to be there, be the superheroes of the podcast world.
Yep. So, yeah, our bad guys.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode on YouTube. Hope you guys enjoy the new platform. Able to pop up some photos on there so you guys can be more interactive. Thank you for the comment, Levi.
Yes, thank you.
What did Levi say?
He said, when's the collab with the Joe Rogan podcast? So, we're trying to fit him into our schedule right now. We're
It's
busy
tough.
people. So,
You know, it's tough. We got lawns to mow. We got to show up for work. And it's like Joe Rogan's like hitting us up. Hey, can we do this today? And it's like, whoa.
It's like, come on, man. You know, like, I get it. You're excited. You want to be a part of it. But, you know, we got to make some space.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, not everyone can do DMT every day like him. So.
Yeah. But, you know, shout out to Joe Rogan. We'll get you on as soon as we can. Don't worry. We're trying to work out the scheduling as we speak.
Mhm.
So we have our assistant working on it. So,
Yep.
yeah, we'll get him on. So, Levi, to answer your question, probably around summer 2025.
Wow.
That'll probably be about then. So,
yeah, we'll have to book him in for a day.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out. But, yeah. So,
So we have, before we get going, we have a request to talk about something from one of our viewers, John.
okay.
We need to talk about man purses. Yay or nay?
Man purses.
Immerse.
So, as most of you know, I lived in Europe for a little while, and Europeans, especially around the cities, are like, they're very effeminate people, you know? So seeing purses over there is pretty common. Everyone carries purses. Socially, for me, it's a nay, but like, at the same time, utility-wise, it's a yay. I mean, imagine if it was socially acceptable to walk around with a purse, you know? It's like so handy. It's not a backpack, but it's like, you know, a little side bag, a satchel, if you will, you know?
We need to bring the Merces back.
You think so?
I don't know if it was ever in, but we need to.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah, it's definitely a trend. I mean, you see the clout lords out there. They carry around their little Gucci bags. You
It'd
know?
be useful, man. I'm wearing jeans. I got so much stuff in my pockets. I'm sagging.
Yeah.
They're like, "Who's that thug?" I'm like, "Chill, Donald. I'm not a thug."
Dude, I tell you what though, cargo pants. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Cargo pants.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a social like faux pas, but at least they're great. You can
Every
carry
kid
everything.
in the ROTC in junior high got their cargo pants with their pocket knife they know they shouldn't have.
Yeah, but
I don't even think. I think ROTC was just a bunch of lost kids who their parents got divorced. I'll just say that. Like
think so?
Like a few of them made it to the military, but most of them were just kids who like to stab stuff in the woods.
So you're saying
It's a-
JRTC is just full of like
Oh, it's a bunch of
psychopaths.
squirrel killers. there's a couple of them who made it somewhere, but a lot of them is just like my parents got divorced. I just like killing squirrels. Let me join this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like it's the kids that
I saw them going around with like their pocket knives, stabbing lockers. I'm like, dude, the lockers aren't even moving. What are you doing?
they're just preparing, dude, because you know as soon as they turn 18, they're getting shipped off to Iraq.
Dude.
So
They're like, I've been stabbing lockers for 6 years. There's nothing like
I'm
this.
getting ready for Palestinian children.
On that note,
No, but yeah, I had a buddy down in Florida, and she was JROTC, and that's all she hung out with was a bunch of jarheads and stuff. And I don't want to be that guy, but there was only one of her friends that I hung out with that could hold an intelligent conversation for more than 5 minutes.
yep.
Most of them just Dumb as a box of rocks. We went out on a beach trip. Met her out at Pensacola Beach, and she had a whole bunch of her buddies there. These dudes are jacked. I mean, they're absolutely jacked. I'll give them that. Physical fitness, peak physical fitness. And the whole time I'm there, I'm just sitting there trying to have a conversation and like hang out, have a good time, enjoy the beach, and they're just like wrestling nonstop.
Dude, they're over there trying to figure out how many suns there are. They're like, I got one. Let me look for another one.
I think it's below the horizon.
Listen,
Yeah,
and this is
no.
nothing against people in the military. You got to respect anyone in the military, but junior ROTC, 3/4 of those people are frying French fries. So,
Oof, hot take.
I mean-
There is a perk, because if you get through JROTC in high school and you're really going for a career, you can do it in college, and when you're done with college, you go right in as an officer.
okay.
So that's the perk, but most
Yeah.
of them don't do that. Most of them, they enlist as soon as they're done with high
Yeah.
school, and most of them, it's
I
like,
think ROTC in junior high though, it's just kind of like book club.
yeah.
Nobody ends up reading books after high school. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, doesn't necessarily attract the most savory individuals. So, but hey, shout out to JROTC, doing good work. You guys marching in rank and file and wearing your uniform places that you
quit
don't
stabbing
need to do it.
lockers.
Yeah, don't stab lockers. That's
Quit
public
jumping in front of the
property.
cheerleader when a bug comes around. Listen,
Yeah.
she's all right.
She's fine.
She'll be okay.
She's fine.
Don't be a simp god.
Yeah, he's just getting ready. I mean, like when you're on the field, you might have to do it for one of your buddies when a bullet's flying out of him.
Yeah, but if he sees one of the twos in the hallway, he's not jumping in front of him.
No.
Jumping away.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know.
Respect all the twos though.
Yeah, respect all the twos. I don't know. I've never seen a two. I don't think I've ever really seen a two.
I think you have two highs. I mean, two's pretty low.
Yeah.
I've seen a good amount of fours.
Fours, yeah. Fours, I mean, that's fine. you
I mean,
know.
I own a mirror.
This is awful. We're getting into objectification territory here.
I mean, I own a mirror. I see fours every day. So, just kidding. 4Ds.
Listen. It's all about what's inside.
That's it.
I've met a lot of girls that physically, a lot of people would turn their noses away. They would think, no, they're not really all that cute. You get to know them, you talk to them, you get to know their personality, and you get to a point where, like, they start looking really cute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. After you lock them in the friend zone, they become really good friends.
Yeah, of course. I had a girl that I went to high school with, and she was obsessed with me. And I take it back. I have seen a two before. She was not the best, but she also had a really ugly personality. So she was like almost on one territory, Because like at least if you have a good personality, you could be a solid 8 or 9. Like seriously, get up to a 10. Be a really like that sweetheart that everyone wants to hang out with. You get to a 10.
You ever
But she
met,
was not great.
You ever met like a 10 looks wise and then they start talking and they turn to a 4 instantly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
That's
anyway,
the
this
thing.
girl was obsessed with me, right? And I was always like skirting advances, and she was like, it was like middle school, so she was always trying to like touch me and like put her hand around or like her arm around me and like get close and try to sit. It was like really weird. I tried to dodge that as hard as I could, but yeah, shout out to that girl. You know who you are.
We'll call her like Melinda.
Melinda. That's a good name for that. I've never met a good Melinda in my life.
Melinda.
Melinda.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
but
just ugh.
shout out to John.
Yeah.
Yay or nay, man purses. You know what? I'm gonna go against the grain. I'll say yay, man. They're
You
very
think so?
they're very useful.
Yeah, I'd say for utility, yay. But just like seeing a guy with, if it's not like a girly looking purse, because I've seen some guys with like Gucci purses.
If it's like a army bag,
Sure.
but that's not really a purse. That's not really a man purse.
I mean, like a satchel, side bag, same difference. But like purses, if it's a purse like Gucci or Louis Vuitton, I immediately, even if you're like out there trying to thug it up or something, nah,
Just can't do
I
it.
just think you're a little sissy at that point,
Yeah.
So, shout out to all the dudes. If you're gonna get a bag, get one that looks, like it's utility. Like you're about to go wrestle a bear or something. No
Yep.
one, if someone makes fun of you, you got a man purse. You can beat him over the head. So
Mhm.
just fill it with bricks.
John also has an idea for the couch we were talking about,
Okay.
the couch area that we were going
Yes.
to do live
The
streams.
couch.
The Karl Marx couch.
The Karl Marx couch. I like it. Sticks with the very red theme we have. It's a bit of a mouthful. We can work with it though. We can find something there.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to John. Thank you for the input.
Yes.
So let's kind of dive into some of the stuff that's going on in our world.
Okay.
because
Do you
I
want to
think
start
that's-
with the elephant in the room, or do you want to
Yeah,
start with some
I mean,
stuff?
we didn't really want to get into this too hot because, as you know, if you say any opinion these days, you are labeled as something. But
Yeah.
we're
Well,
gonna
your opinion's always
we're
wrong,
gonna
so.
just talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the Black Lives Matter movement,
Mm-hmm.
the protests, the rioting, and all that.
And we put heavy distinction between the protests and the rioting.
Very heavy distinction.
They are not the same thing.
So, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna track us down and kill us, but if they do, hats off to you.
Yeah. Good
We
job.
live in Nebraska. We live in Omaha, and Omaha actually made national news for all the riots going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rioting. There's a lot of good protesting too. So I think it's important to realize that both are going on. I've never been in someone's shoes who has experienced racism, but I can't support rioting
Nope.
and looting. And I want to make this clear. Most of the people who are supportive of the Black Lives Matter movement are not rioting.
Right.
They're peacefully protesting, and I respect that. You peacefully protest. We live in America.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of speech.
Yep.
The issue is the people who are just honestly jerks.
Yeah.
To say that nicely, so you don't have to bleep it out. They're jerks, and they're looting businesses because they think. I don't know why. Maybe they think that's. Some people maybe think that's helping the problem, and maybe some people just want to loot stuff. Maybe that's just an excuse. So,
Yep.
As a group, the Ace and the Jack podcast, we cannot condone looting our city. We just can't. We can't
Nope.
condone that.
Nope. It hurts more people than you're helping at that point. I don't think a lot of them realize it when they're doing it. You know, you get caught up in the moment. Tensions are high. All of a sudden, big group of people in the protest are rioting and looting, and you know, maybe the good protesters start going home because stuff's getting dangerous, and then you're left with a big old group of people, you know, that stuck around that partake or you know watch on the sidelines or complacent with it, and you're hurting a lot of good people when you do that. You know. A lot of small businesses, you know, especially right now with coronavirus, and these small businesses are already hurting, you know. They don't get as much business as they did before. One of the little restaurants we go to down up by Menards, it's great food, absolutely excellent, but they can only seat half as many people in a day. So immediately their income is cut in half. So if you take a store like that where their income's already cut in half and you loot and you burn and destroy, well, they're not going to be able to open up again for, at best, months. The reconstruction, pouring in so much money for that, and for what, you know? I mean, they can't rebuild until the riots are over, and once they can rebuild, I mean, who knows if the coronavirus will be over? I mean, it sinks so many small businesses, especially, and I know that this is kind of a hot take, but especially in, like, mostly predominantly black areas, it's a lot of small businesses owned by black people. And for them to say Black Lives Matter, but then to turn around, you know, the small group that it is, but still a group that chants the
And by
mantra.
them, we mean rioters.
Rioters,
We don't
yeah.
mean African Americans. We
No,
don't mean white
no.
people. We mean rioters.
Rioters. And, you know, these people that chant the mantra just because, you know, I think it's more of a cover, if anything. They chant the mantra of Black Lives Matter and then loot and destroy black businesses and ultimately hurt those people, or the ones that, you know, come into the city from the suburbs and hurt smaller communities like that. You're doing nothing. You're not helping the issue. If you want to help the issue, pick up a sign. Go, you know, you can stand on the side of the road. You can peacefully disrupt. Those are all things that you're allowed to do as an American citizen. It's never going to be easy. And I have a lot of respect for the people that are able to do that, for the people that can stand out in the sun for, you know, 8 hours and hold a sign up.
Yeah.
That takes a lot, you know, and it takes a lot of gusto, you know. So hats off to those kinds of people. Not everyone agrees. Not everyone, you know, would be able to do that. And not a lot of people, or not everyone would want to be out there. But the people that are doing it, hats off to you.
Yeah. And we want to make it clear right now that we are not against any protesters. We're against people who are using the Black Lives Matter movement for their own greed.
Yep.
And I've heard a lot of stuff on social media and in person of people saying, buildings can be rebuilt, lives, once they're gone, they're gone. And I agree with you 100%. But the issue there is you have to, when you are having a movement, you have to find who is causing the problem. If that for you is police officers, then that's your thing. Then I would simply say, don't take it out on the people who are just trying to have businesses, who are trying to support their family and support your community. Raise those people up. Go out there before you protest, have a meal at their restaurant, leave a tip, be able to support those restaurants, and then go protest against the people that you have an issue with.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with the local police, go in front of the police station, hold up your sign. But let's make sure that when we're protesting, we take it out, not take it out, but we direct it towards the people that we want change from. Because by looting and destroying an innocent person's business, they're not going to be able to fix your problems, And if anything, you're making their life worse. So we need to make sure that as a community and as a country, we band together and we support those around us while enacting change.
Yep.
I think that's very important.
And here's a kind of a comparison I want to give just for the people that maybe aren't looking towards the future of how things are going to look looking back. So two very key protests that I would, point to, are like Tiananmen Square, China, 1969, I believe. Peaceful protest, students demanding democracy. The government came in, opened fire on them. It was a massacre. But they were peaceful. They made their point, and we still remember them. We remember them all these years later because we saw that they were martyrs for their cause. We saw that. And we understand that their cause was something bigger than themselves. The Million Man March, Martin Luther King Jr., civil rights, right? Blocked up a highway, marched, did their thing. It was massively, what's the word I'm looking for? Impactful. Massively impactful to civil rights in the United States. They were peaceful. They were, anyone that was harmed during those protests were martyrs for their cause. Not to say go and be martyrs for your cause. That's stupid. But if it happens, you are the good guy in that situation. Now we look towards Ferguson, which is still very touchy subject. But no one really remembers Ferguson. No one talks about Ferguson. Ferguson's something that people kind of want to forget about, because it went and turned into mass looting, rioting, and destruction. And that makes you the bad guy at that point. So if you're someone who's listening and you're seeing these things going on and you want to take the opportunity to destroy private property, destroy public property, to harm people, to be a force for chaos, if you're going to do that, you need to take a minute and understand that you'll be remembered by most Americans for a very long time as the bad guy. And the people that you see as the bad guy will be remembered as the good guys. And if that's something that you want and you're okay with, then go and do your thing. But to those people who are out there and their name is being tarnished by violent people, find a way that you can organize your movement to reject that and make that a very clear point of your platform, is that we're nonviolent, and don't use the excuses of, well, their businesses, they can rebuild. Don't use that excuse. Violence is violence. It doesn't matter what it is. Find a way to organize so that you can squeeze out that violence and get rid of it. Cleanse it from your movement, because people remember you as the good guys, and they'll see the people that you see as the bad guys as the bad guys, and that's really the bottom line to it.
Certainly. And personally, I want to say, everyone out there protesting, I'm here for you. I'm there for you. I support what you're doing, and everyone who, maybe if someone's listening and they've looted or anything, I'm not against you. I don't hate you. Just kind of take a step back with all the anger you're feeling inside, which of course I already said I don't know how you're feeling, but take a step back and think about, is what I'm doing going to benefit my cause, or is it only going to take me a step back? It's only going to
Yep.
take our nation a step back. So,
Yep.
you know, obviously, Ryan and I, we're two Caucasian men. So, on the spectrum in
I
society,
am definitely on the spectrum.
we are the least at risk, I would say. I'm sure white males are at risk in some ways, but what I'm trying to say is, you know, I don't necessarily understand what an African American person is feeling, or a Chinese person, or a Latino or a Latina person, but I do know that I support what you guys are doing. Just please do it safe, stay safe, make sure to wear a mask. You know, coronavirus is still happening.
Yep.
And make sure to be able to support our local businesses and get your message out
Yep.
in a good way. And
Absolutely.
on that note, I think we should probably move on.
Yeah, I have some really exciting and good news.
Okay.
Minor earthquakes were detected in Yellowstone, which could hint towards a eruption of a supervolcano that's been dormant for about 1,000 years.
Well.
So yeah, I was I was looking at the projected destruction if it were to erupt, and luckily for us, we are only in the second ring.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, that means we're only going to get a medium amount of fallout from the volcano. So that's great. But if you're living in Florida, you're good. You're good to go, dude. You guys, if it blows up, don't even worry about it. You guys can take to the beaches still. I think you would even if you were in the center ring, because I know Floridians and hurricane parties. Y'all are some crazy people. But yeah, it's small tremors that are being detected, which could hint towards an eruption.
Yeah, and NASA believes that drilling up to 6 miles down into the supervolcano beneath Yellowstone Park to pump in water at high pressure could cool it down, but this would cost $3.5 billion.
Worth it.
And it is, but I don't think people really care about stuff until it happens. So,
Yeah, that's true.
So, stay safe. Enjoy the last month you guys have left. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Go frolic.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Another great 2020 news snippet. There is currently a meteor hurling towards Earth at 11,600 miles per hour, and it is the size of the Empire State Building. We don't know if it's on course to collide with the planet, but I'm sure we'll probably know within the next couple weeks, so keep your eyes on the news. If it is going to collide, though, rest assured, something of that size and going at that speed, I know it sounds like a lot, but cosmically speaking, it's really, it's not a massive deal. It'd be like throwing a grain of sand about as fast as a bullet at a bowling ball. It's really not going to do a whole lot of damage. It'll probably just be regional damage, maybe some earthquakes or tsunamis, nothing that we haven't dealt with before in the past, but just be ready for that.
For 2020, that's kind of just like a little needle in the haystack.
Yeah. Tell you what, I was looking at news articles the other day, and I can't remember, it was like ABC or CNN or something like that, but whenever they have a title for their news article, if it's a little too long, it'll get that ... so that it'll continue if you click it. But I looked at it, and it was a picture of Donald Trump at a podium, and it said Donald Trump announces coronavirus 2, and then ... and I was like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for. This is it. This is the sequel we need. So I really hope that they're wrapping up the trilogy in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
It's always hard the second movie, but I think the first one, it really was good. I think there was a lot of impact it had. But for the second movie, I'm hoping for some returning characters. And
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Stuff's starting to open back up, People are calling for, people are saying that there's going to be another big spike in July. But NBA announced that they're returning, I believe, end of June.
Okay. Like, with audiences?
Yeah.
Spectators, I suppose?
I would imagine no audience.
Good. Also, just a quick little snippet. If you hear us sipping a lot of liquids right now, it's because the AC went out in my apartment, and it's a little spicy in here right now. So pardon any gulping noises you hear. That's just part and parcel of living.
Yeah, so
Here.
they're gonna play the 2019-2020 season. July 31st is the first date. So that should be interesting.
Absolutely. I don't know. What's your take on that? I know we talked on it a little while back, but what's your take on like everything opening back up so close with the virus still at large?
I think, as sad as this is, we have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And I think if we open everything back up and for some reason numbers don't really go up that much, then it worked out. But I would imagine that numbers are going to go back up. There's going to be another spike. We're going to shut down until we figure out a permanent solution.
Yeah.
I know they're working hard on cures for it, vaccines for it, so maybe that will come eventually. But as of right now, we're opening stuff back up. I would imagine that we're going to feel the repercussions of it,
Yeah.
and then we'll probably end up shutting back down August.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a
It's
shame.
hard to tell, though, because
Yeah.
with everything going on recently, we don't hear much about coronavirus in the news
Right.
anymore, so it's hard to tell the status of coronavirus. Obviously, if you wanted to look into it, you could, but
I mean, I could look at the numbers real quick
Yeah.
if you wanted to see.
I don't know, It's an interesting thing I hear from, like, some of my friends are split. Some of my friends are like, come on, we got to go on with our lives. And then my other friend, shout out to Emery, he's taking it very seriously. He's like, I'm staying inside. I've got, a mom or a dad who's a nurse and a mom who works retail, and it's my obligation to stay inside. And so,
So it looks like from what I'm seeing here that the daily cases that are being reported are on a very clean upward climb. Globally, we're currently at 6,802,506 cases globally. However, we're only at 396,698 deaths.
so what does that make the survival rate at? Like
Currently,
96%?
currently the recovery rate is 89%.
89%?
Yep. And it looks like the daily deaths kind of bumped up around mid-April, got to their peak, and they've been on a slow decline. Last that I can see was July 4th, and I mean, it's a lot of people, but 5,511 people died on June 4th.
June 4th?
But compared to April 17th, when we had 8,429 people die in that day, it's slowly dropping off, but the cases are still going up, which is really strange to see.
Well, I think it's because of the protests and the riots. I think a lot of people are out there not wearing protection because they feel like they have, rightfully so, feel like they have more important stuff to worry about. And I think we're going to see cases go up for a little bit.
Maybe so. Oh, did you see Brazil is now the leading country for cases?
Wow.
Yeah, they overtook the United States in cases.
Congrats, we're not
So-
winning anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll always be number one. As soon as everything opens back up again. But yeah, so really, I mean, it looks like, the cases are growing, which is unfortunate, but it's good to see that the death toll is dropping. And I hope to see that trend continue to a good, 5 or 6 a day, because that's pretty manageable. That's like deaths for malaria or something like that. So something that most people aren't going to worry about. So, yeah, we'll keep everyone updated on that, and we'll check in just as the pandemic continues. But as of right now, I think we're sitting at a pretty comfortable place. So,
I don't think, I think at this point, it's safe to go outside, but of course, go outside at your own caution, wear a mask, especially if you're at risk or if you have people you live with that are at risk. It's
Yeah.
very important
Yep.
that you wear a mask, wear gloves if you want to do that. Just practice your social distancing. But the fact of the matter is things are going to open back up. Businesses are going to continue to open back up. But businesses are going to take a big hit from this, as you were talking
Yeah.
about restaurants, but a lot of other businesses are taking a massive hit. And it'll be interesting to see how long it takes to get back to normal, per se.
yeah.
Probably,
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if till the end of next year.
Right. And I would also really encourage people, we live in a day and age where, you don't even have to go outside to get foods. You don't have to go outside to get entertainment. You don't have to go outside to get anything anymore. Take advantage of those services, not only because it helps, people, we were talking about it the other day, like doing gig economy stuff, people who do DoorDash or people who do Uber Eats, or even the service that's provided at like Target, Walmart, Bakers, all that kind of stuff where you can just drive in and pick up your food, Take advantage of those services. The less contact you can have with people, the less it'll spread, And obviously, right now, we may be at a comfortable place. But if we're going to be reopening stuff, it does not mean that everyone needs to surge out and start intermingling again, because it's still there. It's still a problem. And just use your own discretion. Be smart. Think of those around you, and be considerate. So that's really all I would have to say. This is kind of a preachy episode.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we have more fun episodes where we're roasting each other and I'm calling him a chubby muffin or
Chubby
a Muppet.
A Muppet. That's one of my favorites. I used that the other day at work.
Dude, you have to. You just have to call someone a Muppet.
Yeah. Dude. It's good. I don't know why. It's a good insult and it has no meaning behind it, and that's what's so great about it,
Yep. I'm going to call you a flaming hot Cheeto.
That sounds like it's kind of homophobic.
I didn't even think of it that way, so maybe that's just how your mind works.
Maybe so. What was the Chappelle skit? He's a connoisseur of racism. I'm a connoisseur.
Dude, Dave Chappelle, man. We were watching Dave Chappelle the other day. Hilarious. If you haven't heard any Dave Chappelle, please go look up some of his stand-up.
Absolutely hilarious. If you're easily offended, definitely go watch it, because you need to go ahead and pop that cherry there.
Dave Chappelle is so good at saying offensive stuff in such a funny way.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing, is like with offensive stuff, like when I'm offended about a joke, it almost makes it funnier because I can laugh at myself for being offended by that, So, I don't know, like sometimes I'll go out of my way to watch stuff that offends me personally, just because, if it offends me, that means that I don't have a thick enough skin in that area. So, like, if I can listen to a comedian make jokes for 30 minutes straight about something that I'm personally convicted of, like, that's hilarious.
Well, I have a little story for you guys.
Story time.
So, with everything going on, obviously some parts of Omaha aren't exactly the safest right now. Nor are they ever, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, my girlfriend moved into a new house with her family. And I decided to stay over there one night, just me and her. And I thought, it'd be fine. But it's kind of near where the riots are kind of taking place and whatnot. And I thought, no, it'd be fine. So then I get an alert on my phone that 5 people tried to hijack a car. And while they were handcuffing one of them, they got out. 5 of them ran. I was like, no, that's pretty crazy. Then I look at the street, and it's on like one street over. And then I'm like, oh, no big deal. The police officers will find it. I start hearing a helicopter go above. I'm like, okay. So now I'm getting, my legs shaking a little. Mm-hmm. Then I get an alert, even better, that they're armed and knocking on doors trying to break into houses. So I'm just sitting there, no weapons, grab a pair of scissors. And I'm just like, well, this is a nice house. Thanks for bringing me. So, the moral of that story is nothing ended up happening. They ended up catching 4 of them. One of them's probably hiding in the backyard.
Still at large.
Probably.
Be advised.
Probably hiding in the backyard. But it's just a crazy time right now.
It is. It's wild, man. I'm pretty happy that I live pretty far away. I'm on kind of the outskirts of the suburbs. So I live far enough away that I don't really see much of it. But yeah. I don't know. It's weird times. It's kind of like I'm sitting back and watching while everything just kind of goes crazy, goes haywire,
I kind of felt for the people who live over there, and because I stayed over there one night and that happened, but you got to think that some people live in those neighborhoods that goes on every night, and every night they have to fear is somebody going to break in with a gun. So
yep.
It's almost like a different mindset, and I think I'm so used to living in, further away from those areas, and when you go into it, you're like, oh, I'm glad I don't live here, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, hey, we're coming up to our break point. So, anything else you want to say before we cut for a break?
thank you for listening to episode 1.
Episode 1.
Part 1.
Part 1. Part 1, episode 6.
Thank you for listening to part 1, episode 6.
Getting a pay cut.
We're going to take a little breaky poo.
Breaky poo. Go get some water because it is hot in here.
Why is it hot in here?
Because my AC is broken.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep. It's
It's
always
like
fun.
we're doing a podcast in a sauna right now.
It's pretty good. We're sweating out all the toxins.
Yeah.
All that
That's
garbage
how
food.
dedicated we are.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We are the pinnacle of health. So, yep. Well, all right. Oops, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and cut for a break. Thank you guys for listening to the first half. I'm Ace,
And I'm Jack.
and we'll be right back.
Peace.
In a world ruled by uncut lawns, 2 men and their mower are gonna risk it all to clean 'em up. Coming this summer, Papio Lawns Uncut, starring Joseph as himself, and Ryan as himself as well. These men are our only defense against long lawns. The grass, it's so long. Alrighty, guys, welcome back from the break. As you just heard, that was our very first trailer from our sponsor. New movie coming out this summer. You guys should definitely go give it a watch.
Yeah, but shout out to our sponsor, Papio Lawns. You know,
Papio Lawns.
mowing at an affordable rate in your local area of Omaha.
Absolutely.
To contact them, papiolawncare@yahoo.com. Great couple guys.
Absolutely. Wish I could meet them.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like it's us, but
Yeah, we actually we received that soundbite in a cassette tape that was just left on the doorstep, so we
Yeah.
thought we'd run it. But pretty good stuff. They sound solid. So yeah, if you guys know anyone that needs lawn care, you know.
yeah, papiolawncare@yahoo.com. Send them a email. They do mowing, weed whacking, edging, whatever you need.
Yep.
All your needs. So go ahead and shoot them an email. But moving on, I think we should bring back the notorious Slapjack. I know. I think it's collar fold is what it is. So collar fold. That means we have 2 topics and we figure out which one we want to call and which one we want to fold.
I'm excited. We haven't done this in a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a fat minute.
So you ready?
I am ready.
Gatorade or Powerade?
God, why'd you have to do it? Why'd you have to do it? Why? This is tough, dude. Because, like, I always grew up drinking Powerade because that's just what we had when I was doing, like, Little League baseball and stuff, you know. Gatorade was for the kids up the hill, you know, those preppy kids. So it's got a special place in my heart. But Gatorade has better flavor. I'm just saying, you know.
So
it's
are you
just,
going for your heart or your taste buds?
aren't they the same thing? What's the difference?
So which one you going? Come on.
All right, I'm going.
You're beating around the bush.
I know. All right. For flavor variety, Gatorade. I have to go Gatorade. I'm sorry.
All right. For me, I've always been a Gatorade person. Gotta go Gatorade.
Oh, you lived up the hill.
Yeah.
preppy
I got them that good Gatorade. I'm actually sipping on Gatorade right now, lemon lime.
Lemon lime.
Shout out to our sponsor Ryan for providing the Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Where's the Rice
Shout out to
Krispie
him.
bars? Come on.
Dude,
Where's the minivan?
Get out of here, Rice Krispie. Dude, I tell you what. Whenever I was at like a Little League game or something, and you get done, and then the one snack parent, because it rotated, they'd bring the snacks. And there was always that jerk that brought Rice Krispies. And the rest of my team was like, woo, Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies are amazing.
I hate Rice Krispies, especially when you're all like tired and like sweaty and exhausted. That's the worst thing. I loved like the days they brought oranges. Those were the best days because oranges, mwah, perfect. You're sweaty, you're hot. You peel this beautiful clementine, and you bite into this juicy, succulent fruit, and it just Orange juice,
No.
all in your mouth. It's amazing.
Nope. You
No?
gotta go with the Rice Krispie action.
No, they're so bad. Even when I'm like not sweaty and hot, they're just not my go-to thing. I hate them. Actually, I'll say it. I hate them.
What's
But
your
I also like black licorice. So
What's your go-to drink at restaurants? You that water kid?
I'm a water guy.
Yeah. You that water guy?
I'm the water
I'll
guy.
just have water.
Unless I'm at like a fast food joint, because then I'm already committed to being unhealthy. And then
Yeah.
if I'm at I just realized the other day, Five Guys, they have that strawberry Fanta.
Ooh.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Only place I could find it was Popeyes for the longest time, but no,
I love
they've
the
got
places that have that freestyle machine.
it. Ooh, those things are dope.
You can get crazy with
Yeah,
it.
you can. You go up for a different drink every time. Most
Uh-huh.
places you get 6 options. This one, it's
You can get like
limitless.
lime, ginger. Like who's drinking that? But you have the option.
Yeah, that's what it's all about is options. I tell you what, that's the best. That is the best. They updated them. The one down at Firehouse Subs, it's got this whole new layout, and it's like more options. And like the touch screen, it's not that weird screen you have to like tap super hard to get it. It's like an actual touch screen, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
How the
So-
world is upgrading.
Yeah, seriously, we're moving into the 22nd century a little
You
early.
think people are obese now? You wait 50 years from now, nobody will be able to see their toes.
Seriously, that's a scary thought.
But what's your go-to drink on that freestyle machine?
Freestyle, dude, I go for the root beer, and I go right for vanilla.
Vanilla root. That's probably the worst thing on there.
You serious?
Ugh,
What's your go-to?
Vanilla's gross.
You're gross.
Thanks.
Yeah. What's your go-to?
Probably cherry Coke Zero.
Cherry Coke Zero. Get out of here. You can get Cherry Coke Zero at the store. You gotta live a little, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
live a
If
little.
I get it at the store, that means I like it, and that means I get it at the restaurant.
But like, you have so many options,
Who wants to live with vanilla?
dude. That's
Go
awesome.
to the go to the baking aisle. Get out of my face.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
Plus
telling
root
you
beer.
right now.
Ugh.
You don't like root beer?
I like certain types of root beer.
Like actual good root beer?
Like
Like
you know
that-
that one
that
with the
stuff.
bulldog on it. Don't play around with me. That's gross.
Oh, it's gross. Okay, I thought you were about to say
No,
that's the best one.
What is
I
it
was
like?
gonna smack
Is that
you.
mug?
Yeah, mug root beer.
Don't hit me with that mug root beer.
Yeah, because there's mug.
I feel like I'm gonna get mugged when I drink it. That stuff is shady.
That's that low quality bulldog.
Dude, I feel like they
garbage.
make that in cocaine factories.
Yeah, seriously, dude. No, like tier list for just generic root beers. You have Mug, Barks, and A&W. What do you pick?
Oh, A&W.
A&W.
If you go into, if you guys have a local A&W fast food joint wherever you live, go in there and get it right out of the tap. That stuff is amazing.
Dude, I tell you what, their cheese curds, those are the best. The only one who does them better is Culver's.
I like cheese curds. I actually took a trip to Wisconsin. I'm a big Packers fan, so feel free to stop listening now if you're a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Packers fan, so we went over to Lambeau Field, and we got those Wisconsin cheese curds. Nothing like it.
You can't go any better.
Yeah.
That's like getting, I don't know. What's a good comparison? It's like getting beer in Ireland.
It's like
just
getting
the
ice
best
in
place to get
Alaska.
it.
It's
Yeah.
top of the tier.
Top, S tier. SS tier. It's like above the S tier. It's just perfect. It's really perfection at that point,
Would
So.
you enjoy living somewhere that's secluded, like in Alaska?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It'd be
yeah.
scary if you
I
got
would.
injured and nobody's around you and you're in like freezing cold.
See, that's
You enjoy that
That's
stuff?
why you just don't get injured. That's really the key. Just don't get injured. No, I feel like while I'm young, until I'm about in my 40s, once I'm there, I'm like, I'll move a little closer to town. But if I can be out in the, bumfrick nowhere,
Do you enjoy just like being able to provide for yourself and being able to hunt?
Yeah, dude, I love that. That's how I want to be, man. Self-sufficient all the way. All the way. I mean, like, I was raised in a very self-sufficient household, mostly from my old man. He was always, like, teaching me how to do stuff, teaching me how to fix my own stuff whenever I needed help. Like, when I first got my car, I came up and I said, hey, I need help. I don't know how to change my oil. And he goes, you know what you have? I was like, what? He's like, welcome to the 21st century. You have YouTube. Go figure it out. And my mom was like, oh, honey, don't make him do it. It's his first time. He's like, no, he's got to learn. He's got to learn how to do it. I tell you what, my old man, he's one of those men, he figures it out himself. He wants to learn it. He's like me, It's not like a pride thing. It's a I want to learn this myself thing, So like trial and error. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he's broken something trying to fix it himself, but old man taught himself how to brew, taught himself how to do plumbing, electrical, taught himself a whole bunch of good stuff,
That's good.
Self-made man.
Save a lot of money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's just kind of where I was raised, you know. I mean, my mom was nothing like that. She was very like, if we can hire someone to do it, let's hire someone to do it. But I don't know. It's
I think
just
a
not
lot
the
of
same
people
thing.
enjoy that. I'm not saying your dad doesn't do it right, but a lot of people enjoy that security that someone's going to come and do it right. You know, they're trained. They're not going to have to fix
Right.
it twice.
Well, like,
Adds up, though.
my old man, he was intelligent about it. And that's why I say it's not a pride thing. Because if he looked at something and he had no idea what he was doing, and it was something that could genuinely, like, cost a lot of money if he screwed it up, he'd call someone. He would do it, you know. A lot of times he'd call my grandpa because he's trained in, like, everything known to man. He's
Yeah.
a super handyman all the way around. But, you know, if he had to call someone, he'd call him. Stuff with the vehicle, you know, if he got to a point, because my dad, he's a car guy, you know, he can fix a car, but if he got to a point where he couldn't figure it out, he'd go and get someone. But he taught me, you know, always just try to do it yourself if you can. Teach yourself. If you can learn those skills, that's more skills you have for later. It's like that last episode we were talking about, how, like, you never know when you're going to need them in the future, you know. Might get to a point where you're somewhere, you know, you break down on a highway somewhere and you don't have anyone who can come and fix it. They're all 3 hours away or something. Learn how to change a tire.
Life is just all about learning lessons and using them, huh?
Yeah, it really is. So that's why I like self-sufficiency.
So far I'm a little behind on life.
It's always
I've
time to catch
spent
up.
so much money at mechanic shops.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't, but
Yeah.
it's just
Learn
like
it,
when
man.
there's a big issue, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I could either try to figure it out and probably break it, or
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but
you
I
gotta-
get the benefits to figuring it out yourself. Then you
Yeah.
don't have to spend the money. You know, mechanic shops they charge an arm and a leg, and they'll fix stuff you don't even need fixed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, like, if it's small stuff, like people that go in and get their fluids topped off, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That doesn't even take mechanical knowledge. You unscrew a cap and you pour your liquid in.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't take mechanical knowledge. I mean, if it's offered on the side while you're getting something big done, sure, whatever, I don't care. But, like, if you go in to do that,
Be
or if
careful.
you go in to,
Some places will charge you to fill your fluids, and they won't even tell you.
I know.
That happened to me one time, and I was upset.
Yeah.
Like, I took it in. I just wanted this thing fixed, and they changed my windshield wipers. They changed a bunch of stuff I didn't even tell them to change. And I was like, okay, not going back to this place.
Yeah,
It's like,
they'll get you. They got to make their money, but at the same time, it's scummy. you
yeah,
know?
let me know if you're going to change it, you know? Don't change my windshield. Because I already ordered windshield wipers, and now I have windshield wipers I don't even need.
Yeah. Did they change your blinker fluid?
They changed all the fluids, and they charged me. Oh, blinker fluid. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention, so screw you. No, they
Yeah.
they changed all the fluids besides the blinker fluid that was topped off just right. So
That's good. That's
Screw
good.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I always keep my blinker fluid full. It never drops.
shut up.
Never run out of it. Doing great.
Dude,
Doing
I
great.
saw some
First thing
vid-
I learned how to do.
I saw some videos of guys sending their girlfriend to like an AutoZone and looking for blinker fluid.
That's wrong. That's hilarious, though, and I think I might use that.
Let's record it.
Yeah, seriously.
Sam would come back and smack me. That's my girlfriend. She would smack me.
It's going to turn into a prank channel.
Oh gosh. tired of eating 1,000 Pringles.
Yeah.
Let's get the prank channel going.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. But, yeah, no. I mean, like, sometimes, you know, like, you got to put yourself in a tough situation to learn something sometimes, you know? Like, sometimes, not like put yourself in a dangerous situation, but sometimes you just got to make it a little tougher so you can grow, you know? When I was learning to swim, my dad's actually the one that taught me. And he just chucked me in the pool. He just said, figure it out, you know? So chucked me in the pool. Didn't go well, but got to have a lot of respect for him, you know?
I feel
He
like
learned how to do CPR that day. And that was the whole goal, was to learn how to do CPR. So he taught himself. So
I feel like the police could have been called there, but
no, it's okay. Child abuse out in the sticks, and it's not a thing. As long as you don't have any bruises and you don't go to school with them, you're fine. They can do whatever they want.
you're awful.
Dude, it's a different culture. It's a different culture down there. I miss it sometimes.
Do you think here's a little debate topic. Do you think celebrities get away with more stuff, like crime? Do you think they get away with less stuff because
I am very glad you asked this. We watched a Netflix special yesterday about Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, they get away with a lot of stuff. If you have money, yeah, you can get away with it. You can hire the best
I feel like
lawyers in the
celebrities get
land.
away with the bigger stuff, but then the smaller stuff they're like patronized for.
Speaking of, did you see, I don't remember if it was Jake Paul or Logan Paul, but they got busted for looting in Arizona?
Jake Paul, and he put out a statement that said he was not looting, he was just recording it, but who knows?
Sure. Isn't he the same one that went to the suicide forest? And
That's Logan.
that's Logan. Okay, so it's probably in the genetics. I'm not gonna. Were you? This is gonna be PG-13. Were you around when their dad, his tape got leaked?
Oh, he had a tape?
Yeah, and I was listening to the H3 podcast at the time, and they used it as a sound effect. It was like a
Oh, gosh.
yeah, and they use it as a sound
Was it
effect.
like a solo tape or
No, it was a duo.
with who?
I don't know, some girl. There was a lot of speculation that she was underage, though. Yeah, but no charges. So, but yeah, no, there's a special one about Jeffrey Epstein. Go watch it. It'll really kind of open your eyes about a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, I
people
saw
get
that
away
on
with.
there. I haven't watched it yet, but
It's real good.
I think it'd be interesting.
It's 4 episodes.
How much of it is speculation? How much of it is fact? Is it
It's all
just-
fact, except towards the end about his death, but it only takes about like 15 minutes, where they talk about conspiracy theories online. But the rest of it, it's on record. They just talk about everything that's factual. They get some witness statements and all that good stuff. Very well done. They didn't waste time. They talk about the very important things, and they get down to who he was as a person and what he did. And yeah, he got away with a lot for a good chunk of time just because he had power and influence. So.
Here's a good one that I saw. I don't even know why this is. Should high schools provide daycare services for students who have children?
No.
Would
I'm
that
not
just,
paying for that. Don't
would
have
that
a
just
kid.
incentivize high schoolers to have kids?
It's like, dude, someone else will take care of it while you're at school. No,
heading
I
to-
mean the big thing,
I'm
the thing
heading
that
to
keeps kids
PE.
from. Huh?
I'm heading to PE. Let me go say hi to Billy real quick.
Yeah, seriously. Go give him his graham crackers. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like the one thing, and this is gonna sound real wrong, and a lot of people are gonna disagree, but the one thing that keeps kids from having kids so early, is the fact that it'll ruin their life.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, like,
Financially.
yeah, like that'll ruin you. You can't go to school anymore. You're probably gonna have to drop out of high school to take care of your kid, unless you're the Wonder Mom on YouTube who had a kid at 14. And
Imagine your life if you've had a kid at 18.
I have a buddy, had a kid. He's a dad now. I went to school with
What?
him. He's a day older than me. Yeah, he had a kid when he was.
The kid's dead or
17?
he's dead?
Huh?
The kid's dead or he's dead?
No, he's a dad now.
Oh, I thought you said he's dead.
No, he's
It's
a
like,
dad now.
Whoa,
no,
kids
I went
will
to
really mess you up.
I went to started shooting heroin.
No, like the kid's just in there with a freaking knife, like, give me my graham cracker
Oh, I
cookies.
have 5 fingers.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. But no, yeah, he's a day older than me, and he had a kid when he was like 17 or 18.
That's too young. You're
I
still
know.
a kid.
Of course, when you think about it, though, back in the day, they were having them out like 15. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but,
We've come a
like-
long way.
But also look at the death rate of kids back then. Half of them made it.
That's true. Yeah, only the strong survived, and the ones that didn't run with scissors. But yeah, no, had a kid with a girl that was younger than him, and she went to prom pregnant. He sent me the pictures. It was kind of weird. It's like, but it was Arkansas, so it's a different world down there.
Yeah, I went to I went to a nicer school. We didn't really we had like 2 pregnant kids the 4 years I went there. So you see
School
me,
I
it's
went
like,
to?
Whoa.
You know how every school has a nickname?
Mhm.
My school was North Pregnancy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was what it was called. I literally, when I started there was like 6 or 7 girls I saw in the hallway that were pregnant as could be. And yeah, I didn't see them that next year, so I assume they dropped out. But
It's weird though because like you were saying, having a kid young used to be the norm, and now you see a 22-year-old having a kid and you're like, whoa, that's like.
see, I think that there's a golden zone though. Like if you have a kid around like 21, 22, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, but it still seems young. I know it's not, but 21 years old. You're almost 22 now. You
Yeah.
know, imagine having a kid now. Are you ready?
That's true, financially.
You know?
But I mean, if you're financially ready and you're ready for that,
Well, do you think, apart from finances, do you think you're ready to take care of a kid? Like, if you had a kid
I would
right
like
now,
to
would
think
you
so.
would you be like, okay, I'm ready, or would you be like freaking out?
I would like to think so. I think there's a big problem in our society with like immaturity. People stay young too long.
I think
at
it's a good
point.
thing
Why?
because, back in the day, a lot of times they had to grow up quick, and it's like if you're able to not do stupid stuff your whole life, but if you can enjoy your early 20s, I say do it.
Well, that's kind of the point. I mean, yeah, you can enjoy your early 20s and have a good time,
No need to have a kid.
but at the same time, like, people, living with their parents till they're like 40,
Well, that's a different
50.
story.
You gonna keep living with your parents till forever?
That's a different story.
I'm just saying, like,
The
you
way
know,
it
like,
goes is this: somebody stays at home. They stay home till like 25, right? And then they'll try to move out, and then they'll move back in about 27. They'll live with them till they're about, 30, and then they'll start to justify it. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm taking care of my 60-year-old parents," so
Yeah.
then they'll just stay there the rest of your life. It's like
Yeah.
a cycle.
I just, in my perspective, I think, like, yeah, you can enjoy, your teenage years and your early 20s. That's fine. But also, you need to understand that, like, there's a point in your life where, as an adult, you have to start making adult decisions. You have to start being responsible for yourself, I mean, it used to be the complete norm for people to move out of their parents' house 17, 18, I think that's fine, you can move out, enjoy your life, at 21, maybe 22, that's fine, But at a certain point, when you get to the point where you're like 25, 26, especially for young girls, a lot of them don't realize that there's a clock, and at a certain point, you get to a point where it's more difficult to settle down. All the boys want you when you're young, They want you when you're still whatever, but when you get to a certain point, when you start pushing 30, it's harder, and a lot of them don't realize that, and, it's like everyone, like, guys stay too immature and girls stay too immature, and no one turns into an adult
I
until
think
it's too
people
late.
get to the certain point when they're, and not saying you're old if you're in your late 30s or early 40s, but
Oh, you're so old.
yeah, you're ancient. We're selling canes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, seriously, go check it
No,
out on
but
the
I
merch
think
store.
people get to a certain point where the hopes and goals of settling down earlier just didn't pan out, and then they get to a point where that's just not interesting them to settle down anymore. They just want to live their own life, and they just never settle down because that phase passes.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of studies about, like, young folk that don't settle down. There's actually, like, higher depression rates amongst, like, older unmarried people, higher depression rates amongst unmarried people, higher depression rates amongst women that don't have kids. Like, there's a biological draw in there, and I think as a society we try to deny that there's a biological draw towards settling down, but there is, And as hard as you want to squelch it, eventually you can't party anymore. You're too old to party, and then you got to settle down, and it's too late because you're too old.
I think we're going to disagree on this next one.
Okay.
I don't really know how to feel. Because it's going to sound obvious, but does money motivate people more than any other factor in the workplace? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Wow. Because if you think of motivation, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you get any job, you're going to get money. So is that really a motivation, or is it just a tool, right?
Right.
So what's going to motivate you to come in? I don't think it's money. I think it's the dynamic of the workplace and
Mhm.
the rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's also, because, I mean, if I was given a choice between a job that paid me, $40 an hour, or a job that, paid, we'll say 15, and there were benefits, and also, there's a lot of freedom in being able to work at home or being able to spend time on other activities outside of work. I think that's more attractive to people.
Yeah, I think
You
it
know?
is. I've heard of a lot of people who have left high-paying jobs and go work lower-paying jobs just because they enjoy it more. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not as stressed, and
That's the other thing too, is everyone has a niche, Everyone has that thing that, like, really makes them feel alive. A job that's like, hey, this is something I love, and I'm gonna do it till the day I die. And I think that once you find that, it doesn't matter what the pay rate is. Your life, you'll form your life around that paycheck, so that you can afford your life. But also, is money really worth sacrificing your happiness? And that's the thing, is for most people, no, it's not. There's a few exceptions, that they're very money driven. That's fine. If you're money driven, that's your motivation, that's your niche. You love money, be an investor, work on Wall Street, do something like that. Do something that's really gonna help you with that love of money, whatever. But for most people, myself included, I'd much rather have a job that I enjoy coming into. Not every day, no one loves their job every day, but a job that I enjoy the people I work with and I enjoy the company I keep. So I think that's probably the motivational factor.
yeah, for sure, I agree. Trying to find some good interesting debate topics. Do you have any off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, not really. I'm not good at on the spot, unfortunately. Tell you
Okay,
what.
here's one. Unless you have one.
Oh, I was just gonna ask.
Go ahead.
Would you prefer Southern culture or Northern culture?
I don't know, because I haven't really... I've had short snippets of Southern culture. Part of my family lives in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you gotta love it, but I don't know if I love it because it's different or if I love it because I love it.
Right.
Because, here's the thing. Everyone says the South is the best, right? Like, my family say they wouldn't live anywhere else but the South.
Yeah.
But they kill to come here and sled and snowboard.
Yeah.
It's like, the only reason they like that is because they can go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think I want to live in the Midwest the rest of my life. Just because, to be honest, I hate the cold.
Yeah.
And Nebraska's not too bad because we get pretty hot summers.
Yeah, we do.
So, it's nice. But at the same time, as much as I hate the cold, man, the South has a different level of humidity.
Oh yeah.
When you get off that, anybody who's been to Florida knows this, or any part of the South, especially Florida, when you get off that plane, or even when you're like about to land, you can feel the humidity hit you like a train.
Yeah. That's why you gotta live. If you're gonna do it, you gotta live somewhere like Tennessee or Kentucky.
Yeah,
Where you're getting all the perks of the South, but you're also not in the sticky, swampy mess. Because I lived in Florida for 3 years. It was a nightmare. I hate that place, but I love the South. I mean, I feel like it's a good place to live. It's the culture there, the food. Oh, the food. But yeah, I would agree. Humidity.
Here's an interesting one. Should people be fined according to their income, like speeding tickets?
Like fines?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That only makes sense. We do the same with taxes.
Why don't they do that?
I don't know. Just how the system works. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're broke as hell and you still get a $200 ticket, but if you're a billionaire and you get a $200 ticket, like it's two totally different things. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, getting a speeding ticket, that can mean you're not eating for the next month.
Yeah.
But if you're a billionaire, that's just pocket change. So you'll go and do it as much as you want because you're just getting tickets. It doesn't matter. You can pay them off and you can do your court. You can get the best lawyers in the land. It doesn't matter. Not to get classist. But yeah, it should definitely be scaled up with your income. And I think that they probably should be lowered. I think fines are one of those things that it's more so just paying the state for other reason.
Can vampires get AIDS?
That's tough.
Because if so, they're probably the most prone. I was sucking that blood.
I mean, they're like immortal though. So even if they do get it, does it matter?
I don't know. I think they'd still feel the effects. They just wouldn't die.
Plus, they're already dead.
Living with... shoot.
I mean, there's no really live cells in their body to work with. Or are they dead? Are they really dead? Because vampires aren't really like the living dead. They're more like mythical humanoid creatures.
It's like an in-between stage of death and life.
Yeah? Yeah.
Because they're like, cold. They have all the qualities of dead, except they're like still functioning as if they're alive. It's weird.
So then I would imagine if they're already dead, wouldn't they feel the effects of death then? So what is AIDS? Unless they just don't feel effects from that.
Who knows? Maybe that'd be a...
Maybe we should go and interview a vampire.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that a movie?
Interview a Vampire?
Interview with a Vampire or something?
I think it is.
Yeah.
With Johnny Depp?
Maybe. No, that's what is that? What is that movie called? It's like Dark Circles or something like that.
No. I'm talking about another one. I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
We got Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows, there it is. Yeah, my dad told me that one was stupid. I still haven't watched it. He watched it a while back.
Johnny Depp's an interesting character.
Dude, the whole thing with his wife,
Yeah.
where she blamed him for beating her, and then come to find out she was beating him the whole time and bit a chunk out of his hand. It's crazy. That's one of the problems too that I see is like with like, not to get preachy again, but like with the Me Too thing. No, like seriously, I'll touch it. Like it really did a number, because now all that needs to be said is rape or abuse.
I skipped over one of the debate topics.
Oh no.
has the Me Too movement gone too far?
Yes. I think it's been awful for women. I really think it has. It's turned women from fellow humans into like an untouchable class of people, you know. And it's gotten to the point where like and I know this is going to rustle feathers, but Mike Pence, he's been on record saying he will not go into a room alone with a woman other than his wife. He will not eat alone with a woman other than his wife. He will not be in contact with a woman other than his wife to avoid allegations like that,
I mean,
which is what you have to do.
When you're at that level,
Yeah.
you can't play around.
And it's also bad for men because, you know, all these people that claim they've been assaulted or whatever, and then come to find out they weren't assaulted, you know. Like Mattress Girl, did you ever see her? She claimed she was raped at a fraternity party by a very specific group of guys, and she named their names. And then she started walking around campus with the mattress she was raped on to, like, make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come to find out, those guys were never at the party. They had solid alibis. They were never at that party, never had anything to do with her. But they are kicked out of college. They lost their scholarships, everything. They're not getting it back.
I think it's like everything where certain people in a movement, whatever it may be, ruin it for the rest of the people and delegitimize it.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a lot of people who get away with rape,
Yeah.
but while there's other people who get accused of rape who didn't do it.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing. That's why we have due process, you know? You can't just, like, it's almost like we avoid due process socially, you know? You claim that you were raped and immediately that guy's life is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
It's over for him, no matter what. Even if it's proven he never did it, never had anything to do with it, was never near you, doesn't matter. His life's ruined. He's known as a rapist now. That's it. That's the final line. That's why I think it's gone too far, is because, like, it's made it harder for people to interact with women, like in a work setting or in a social setting, because there's that fear that she might be one of those types that will claim it if you do something wrong. It's made men fear dating women or, you know, being in relationships or sleeping with women, you know, because they're worried that if they break up with them, they're going to claim rape and their life is over. So I think it's been a damage to women and men. I think it was a negative thing. I mean, like, the idea behind it, fully support it. I want, just like every other guy, I think we, you know, if we could be alone in a room with a rapist, even if he raped someone we didn't know and we don't know him, I think everyone would go to town on him. You know, I mean, that's just an instinct within people. But now it's just gotten to a point where it's dangerous, you know. So
Yeah, it seems like in life we can only have like the two ends of the spectrum. We can't find a happy medium anymore.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Why do you think that is?
I think people just
Just
never learned how to hold civil conversation. They never learned that you don't always have to be right, you know? It's a very, like, self-serving me culture, you know? So if you're wrong, then you're a bad person. So you have to be right. And your enemies, we've turned it into, you know, it used to be like a civil discussion between people disagreeing. They would come to a conclusion, or they wouldn't, and they would go their separate ways, and it was fine. But now it's like we have to demonize the enemy. The enemy is the devil. Anyone who disagrees with me is an enemy, and that means you're the devil. So I think it's just like that kind of thing. No one can find common ground because common ground doesn't exist anymore.
yeah. How do you feel about this one? Do you think like homework in high school, junior high, and elementary school should not be a thing because
don't
it's
think it should be a
causing too much stress on kids?
They ran studies that showed that you don't learn anything from homework.
It's just getting
You
it
know,
done.
I mean, think of it like this. You wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, which is already way too early for a teenager. Teenagers need to be able to sleep in. Adolescence is very tolling on the body. They need to be able to sleep in. They need like 9 or 10 hours of sleep. So you wake up super early. You go to school until 3 or 4, you know, which is way too long. Why are you at school that long?
Sometimes you have an after-school thing till 7 or 8.
Yeah. So you're at school all day for no good reason. You don't need to be there. You can learn what you need to learn in a class in 30 minutes. That's it.
That's
You
a
can
lot of
bust through it in a
fluff
couple
time.
hours. Huh?
It's a lot of fluff time in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, it is. Like, seriously, I don't know how many times I sat in a class and we literally just watched a movie because we had an hour to work with and there was nothing to learn. But then you get done with all that. So let's say you have an after-school program, runs till 6 o'clock. You're going home, eat dinner, sit down, and you have 2 more hours of homework to do. So you're not getting to bed at the best 9 o'clock.
And that's if you go straight to bed. Most
Yeah.
kids stay up, you know.
Yeah, people want to, they want to have social lives. They want to go out to parties. They want to spend time with friends. You don't get that anymore. So if we did away with homework because it doesn't do anything. Homework was literally invented, I think, by like a French teacher as a punishment for students that acted up in class, that they would have to take work home. And then it just became something that we send home anyway. All it does is stress kids out, eat up any kind of social life they could have, and destroy their sleep schedule. So it's negative. It's an absolute negative on all kids. Doesn't matter. Even if you're the weird kid that loves homework, the one that raised his hand and said, "Teacher, you forgot the homework." That kid. It doesn't matter. It's not good for you. So it's nothing but negative. So yeah, homework should be banned.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of very interesting debates.
A lot.
A lot.
We got to end up on a good one.
You want to end on an upper? Let's do it.
Yeah. This has been I wouldn't say depressing, but this has been a more serious podcast.
A lot of stuff going on. Can't be really blamed for it.
Would you rather be a pirate or a ninja?
Dude. So there's perks to both.
Oh my gosh, he's thought about this for a while.
Oh yeah, dude. This is my childhood right here. So there's perks to both. Ninja, unseen. You're a silent assassin in the night. That's just so cool. That's the coolest job you ever could have had, right? You get all these tools and stuff. You break in, you kill high-ranking members of the Bushido clan or something. You do that. That's so cool. But a pirate, that's also dope. But also it sucked.
You'd be a better pirate.
Huh?
You'd be a better
I
pirate.
feel like I'd be a better ninja.
No,
I'd have more fun being a ninja.
I don't think so.
Why? Because I'm fat and ugly?
No, because I just feel like you want to grow out your beard and go explore.
Yeah, but also scurvy, very, very violent crew members, not a lot of payoff, and also if I come back to port and I get caught, I get hung. So, not a lucrative lifestyle. I'd rather go work for like a small kingdom in Japan and assassinate high-ranking officials and other clans or something. That just sounds cooler. It's just more fun. You get paid better. You get to eat rice and drink sake.
There you
it's just
go.
fun. That just sounds dope, doesn't it?
On that note, drinking sake.
Wrapping up.
Wrapping up like a freaking gift.
Yeah, we are. Sorry if this episode was a little dry. It's just there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we figured it'd be better for us to devote this time to kind of talk about those issues.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with us, that's fine. But like we said, civil discussion, even if you disagree, no need for a flame war. No need for any kind of hate or anything like that. We're just two people with our opinions, and opinions are like noses. Everyone has them, and they all smell. So.
And if you want to, comment something down below, your opinion, we can go over that. We can talk about it.
Absolutely.
Civilly.
Of course.
And if you have any topics you want us to talk about in the next podcast, feel free to drop it below.
Yeah, leave a comment. Seriously, the more we hear from you guys, the more we have to talk about, and the better it is, because then we can all work together to make a really awesome podcast experience.
And we need to get that live stream going.
We will. Yeah, live stream is in the works. We're trying to plan something out, get something figured out. It's just a matter of allotting resources and time. So it might be one of those weeks where we just live stream and don't have a podcast episode. So if that's fine with you guys, go ahead and let us know. You can follow us on Twitter at PeoplesPodC3. What's our Instagram tag again?
Ace and the Jack, and that'll
There we
all
go.
be in the description below.
Yes, it's all down there.
So please go hit that up. And once again, we appreciate you guys joining us for this hour-long podcast, episode number 6.
Yes. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. I'm Ace.
And I'm Jack.
And we're out.